got a few minutes before I go into work. So another topic that I wanted to speak on was the issue. I know I seen the, uh, the debates about who's black going around lately, mostly with the I guess Latinos are saying they're black, and I noticed that the first response is, "Oh, they have African blood," but if you ask an African, "Are they black?" That's not something that that's not something that they resonate with. Black isn't a terminology that would be used for an African person, being that they're from a place where everybody's black, so there's no need. They normally go by their tribes and cultural differences. So that's what debunks that whole thing. To me, what being black is it's it may come from you know our physical appearances come from us having African ancestry, but black is a way of life that we have experienced outside of Africa. Uh, Most of it will be oppression based, um, and also it's us overcoming that oppression and we have become today. And the label of us black is the constant reminder of what we have went through. And it's funny because Latinos, I know it's mostly it's when you want to deal with the cool factors of being black, and there are Afro Latinos. Those people are undeniably black. I know the Afro Latino, that's a term that I would say they would use to describe their culturally background. They want to, you are Latino, and it's funny. Latino is European Spanish speaking descent. Oh, I'm sorry, not Spanish speaking. I guess Latin origin, because a Haitian is actually a Latino. They speak a Latin language, but they're not Hispanic. Hispanic is Spanish speaking. So yeah, that's a big difference there. So that's a big draw I see is when you just go to that. Oh, I'm African. We have African blood. Like, no, you didn't live your life as a black person. That's part of your your DNA. But ever since then, you have grown up being Latino. You grow up a culture of Spanish, but maybe some little African hints in there. Everything, but black is you can't you can't step in and out of black. You can't put it, like a lot of people say, you can't put it on like a coat. Black is, you can't choose to be. You don't have to describe that you are. You don't have to argue that you are. You are. And especially if you live in America and other countries outside of Africa, you will be reminded that you are black. And that's, our history is rooted in those facts, so that we are black. So there's no other time we can come and choose to say, hey, you got to remind people that you're black. That's what our history is about. So, and let me move this over. And there's a lot of other things like nationality. Black surpasses nationality. So black is, you could be Jamaican, Haitian, Trinidad, American, Canadian, even in Britain, British. Black connects that. That's an experience you have living outside of the continent of Africa. So when you try to use that whole definition of I have African blood, go to Africa and say, hey, black, are you black? And they, no, what do you mean I'm not black? I'm evil, I'm Yoruba. You get responses like that. There's no broad stroke like that in Africa. So you have to disconnect that whole excuse, when you get that. And I said there's nothing wrong. I said there's nothing wrong embracing the popular thing. I know I said black people control the cool, they control the cool, but everybody want to be black when it's that. But when they get to that real history, that real stuff that's going on with society about being black, yeah, you might people want to separate from that. So that's just my opinion about the whole I'm black, whenever, because I have African blood, or because And it's funny where they say, oh, they can say the word nigga. That's probably the most seems like be the biggest reason that they want to be black. I guess they feel comfortable saying nigga, and to me that's more of a phenomenon thing with with black culture. Like I said, we control the cool, so people see that, and then it's funny because then the context, a black person, like we don't kind of just openly say it, especially around like elders. Like that's not something that we're respectful of it. It's a term that I feel was flipped, and it was we took the sting off of it, and there's no need to I don't feel like we kind of over abundantly use it like that. Like when I see a lot of Latino people, they just went nigga 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 nigga. Like it's just like whoa, like like it's a new toy that he got, and they just playing with it shit all the time. So I mean, if I don't know. I don't know any words of in that culture that they may be similar that they have used, that was oppressed upon them, that they flipped to use each other. I don't use it. I don't know it, but I'm sure if they do, if I said something, like I know like they have derogatory terms, like you say spick or things like that. I'm sure if I say that, they'll get offended. So I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. So I don't know. It just seems like the sensationalism. It's even to the point now where you see a lot of white people, and this is back to the other video I had where about black men. Black men got allow racist friends to say shit like that in front of them, and they scared to say something because they don't want to check them. They don't want to seem uncool. That's the new black males. That was about my last video. That's kind of something that a side effect of them. They don't, you could disrespect them. And they ain't gonna do shit about it, but. I don't know. I wanted to expand upon it more, but that's just what I feel when everybody say oh they black because they feel like they just feel like oh yeah I'm gonna be black today. Oh I have African blood so I'm black. No, ask the African are you black or what's black, and you'll see how wrong you are with that excuse. So I don't know. Have a good day.